May is coming up, and you know what that means. Pollen. But also a bunch of games. Brand new games. Hi folks, it's Falcon. Today on GameRanq, the top 10 new games coming out in May 2025. Starting off at number 10, it is Roadcraft. Hey, you know how there's potholes and cracks in the road everywhere? Well, what if you could fix it? What if you had the ability and the tools and the materials? Well, you don't. Not in reality, anyway. In the virtual world, you do. Saber Interactive, the masterminds behind Mud Runner and Snow Runner, bring you Roadcraft. It's a construction simulation game that, well, you can imagine the physics about the ground and all of that based on the two games that they've, made their name with. But now you got 40 types of heavy machinery, so you can bulldoze, to clear debris, or you can lay down some asphalt with a paver, and you can do it with up to 3 friends. All right? So go out, fix the world, just not for real. That would really bother some people. If you went out and made everything better for people, for whatever reason, that pisses people off a lot. So do it in the virtual world on May 20th when Roadcraft rolls on a PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. At number 9, it's Revenge of the Savage Planet, the quirky colonial sci-fi adventure that had you cataloging alien flora and fauna while being bombarded with corporate propaganda is back. This game not only is a sequel to what I consider a pretty great cozy exploration space thing, with a lot of good humor about, how everything works, but it also has, a hell of a developer story. These guys were bought by Google, shut down because it was going to be part of the Stadia first-party stuff, and obviously that fell apart. They reformed as Raccoon Logic, and they got their IP back from Google. It's kind of one of those best-case scenario stories, and I always want to root for these guys. They're called Raccoon Logic now. They weren't before, but it doesn't matter. Revenge of the Savage Planet, it looks a lot like a continuation of the first game's story, as well as kind of building on what they made with the first game. Probably my one gripe with the first game was, man, I wish this was third person. And the second one is third person. So, I don't know, I'm psyched. They got an expanded co-op mode, so jetpacking across all the chasms and fighting off the aggressive alien wildlife and jumping. I mean, a lot of the fun of this game is vertical stuff, honestly. And I'm talking about the original in first person. In third person, it's going to be even more fun because the frustration of first person and platforming is, well, it's real. But also, Raccoon Logic has promised a more substantial narrative this time around. I think that's cool because I did like all of the world narrative-y type stuff for the first one. So, I'm pretty psyched. Revenge of the Savage Planet is landing on May 8th for the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC. Moving on to number 8, it's Deliver at All Costs, a chaotic courier simulator set in an alternate 1959. That is, this game is super weird. So you got the mid-century Americana, you got the courier stuff that has, for whatever reason, somehow become popular in recent years. And then, on top of it, this kind of plays out like an arcade racer from how I am looking at it anyways. I mean, again, I've made this comparison with other games, but there's certain games where elements of Crazy Taxi seem to be working their way in. This is certainly not Crazy Taxi, but I don't know, there's some level of it that makes me think of Crazy Taxi. There's also a big commitment to absurdity that's, setting this one apart on its own. But you got rocket-powered vans, you have volatile chemicals, live animal deliveries. Honestly, it looks like it's going to be both a fun and a funny game. I love the title of it. Deliver at All Costs is such a good title. It's got that destroy all humans vibe to it. I don't know that the game itself does, but I like the name. I like really everything about it. I hope that it delivers. It is landing on May 22nd for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. At number 7 is Blades of Fire. Hey, you ever thought, I wish God of War had a little more blacksmithing and maybe a little less daddy issues? Well, Mercury Stream, the guys who brought you Metroid Dread, thought, well, that's what they thought. You're a warrior, you're on a mission to overthrow the queen, and like I said, very God of War-like, except you got a weapon forging system. So you have 7 weapon families and 30 unique forge scrolls, so you can really make a pretty unique, tailored arsenal here. I guess maybe in 2025, complaining about the fact that the weapons degrade is passé. It's something that's been happening for a while now, but that's the one thing I could see being somewhat irritating here. You craft some awesome weapons and they degrade over time. But I guess you got to have trade-offs somewhere. Blades of Fire is launching on May 22nd for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. At number 6 is The Precinct. You ever wanted to be a cop in an 80s crime drama? Well, there you go. You got some way to do that now. Virtually, of course. I mean, you can't literally travel back in time to the 80s and become a cop. But you're a cop. You're out there cleaning up the streets, writing parking tickets and stuff, as well as, in the long term, solving the tragedy of your father's murder. You know, that sort of thing. So, in a lot of ways, this looks like a kind of reverse Grand Theft Auto. You might even say reverse old Grand Theft Auto, like 1 and 2 Grand Theft Auto. It's a top-down perspective. Not full top-down, but, like, you get the point. It's closer to that Grand Theft Auto than the newer Grand Theft Auto. And you're a cop. You're not committing crimes, right? Cops don't do that. I'm sure that at least some of you will do that. But this looks like a pretty cool game. You got a support system that lets you call in squad cars, set up roadblocks, you know, the spike strips and stuff like that. I don't know, it looks pretty cool to me. The Precinct is hitting May 13th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. At number 5 is Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Nice little remaster for you. This one came out way back in 2002. So, we're getting some updated graphics, but I think more importantly, we're getting modernized controls. This is, I mean, it was never a bad-looking game. On PS2, this was a very pretty game. A lot of these games also aged really well in terms of their looks anyways, so bringing it up to an HD resolution actually looks pretty great. It seems like they have done some work on some of the models. It seems some of it just looks better than was possible back then, but it's not just a fresh coat of paint. They also throw in a new mode called Hell. And I don't know if you think normal demon slaying is too easy, I guess. There's also going to be some quality of life stuff. You got autosave, you can have skippable cutscenes, easy weapon switching, stuff that makes old games like this feel much better to go back to. It just so happens if you pre-order, you also get a little soundtrack pack. Not the full soundtrack, but 5 orchestral tracks. I don't know. I love that Onimusha's making a comeback. We've talked about it for how many years now? It's finally happening. Between this new game and probable remasters of as many of the old ones as can be done, I'm excited. Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC May 23rd. And number 4 is Lost Soul Aside. A solo dev by the name of Yang Bing decided he was going to do something nuts and started making this action RPG that really impressed people. And of course, the project has evolved beyond that now. It is quite a large and awesome looking game. You got some of that Final Fantasy look. You got a lot of that Devil May Cry feel. So, I mean, take Final Fantasy 15, Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, all that stuff, put it into a blender. That's what this looks like. It's a game that looks unique. You have a companion that can turn into your weapons or wings or stuff like that. And honestly, like, it just looks like a lot of fun. I hope that it delivers because honestly, it's one of those stories where one guy started something and it turned into something much bigger and cooler, and it actually happened, which is borderline shocking. A lot of the times this story doesn't go this way. So I hope that it's as good as it looks. Lost Soul Aside is landing on PS5 on PC as well, May 30th. At number 3 is Doom: The Dark Ages. Hey, did you want more Doom Eternal? Did you want more Doom 2016? Do you want to go the exact opposite direction as Metal Eden, the futuristic sort of Blade Runner-y looking version of it? Like, well, let's do Medieval Doom. And it's not just like a skin. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that you're not going to see in the other 2 Doom games. For instance, this new shield saw that they've cooked up. Think like angry Captain America. Very, very angry Captain America that kills and maims. But it's also tossing some mechs into the mix. They're called Atlans, and you're even going to be riding dragons in this game. This is going to be a spectacle because the new Doom games are very much insane spectacle as much as they are fast-paced action. And I'm looking forward to play. I love the new Dooms. Doom: The Dark Ages is landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC May 15th. Moving on to number 2, it is Dune Awakening. Were you thinking to yourself, oh man, I'd love a Dune game, but I would prefer it if it weren't about sleeping? Well, Dune Awakening has got you covered. I joke, it's actually a survival MMO. Pretty good looking survival MMO, I might add. You got a big open world, you got to build shelters, craft your equipment, form alliances, rivalries with other players, take part in large PvP battles, as well as PvE stuff, and a whole lot of customization. There's an in-depth character creator. It looks to be pretty good in terms of, a licensed properties character creator. You define your sleeper's appearance, background, and mentor, which changes your starting abilities and obviously your narrative journey. I don't know, it looks like a pretty big and awesome Dune game. I hope that it lands the way that it looks like it will. Dune Awakening is landing on the PS5, Xbox Series, and the PC as well on May 20th. And finally, at number 1, it's Elden Ring Night Reign. So hey, did you want more Elden Ring? Of course you did. Did you want a standalone co-op adventure that takes you and 2 friends to a procedurally generated nightmare world called Limveld? Well, you probably weren't thinking that specifically, but that's what you're getting. So you take one of 8 predefined Nightfarers. You got different abilities, class roles, fighter, mage, assassin, blah, blah, blah. And you're supposed to survive a 3-day cycle where the map shrinks and you end up in a showdown with a formidable Night Lord. It's a roguelike with some battle royale seasoning sprinkled upon it. And although, yes, it is a co-op game, you're welcome to play it alone. It's not going to be easy. Apparently, it's going to be quite difficult for players who play it alone, although I'm sure people who like From Software games will simply take that as a challenge. Your entry point is only $40 here, but if you really want to spend some money, you can spend up to $200 on a collector's edition. Night Reign is landing on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and PC on May 30th. Couple of quick bonus games for you. Everspace 2. The Everspace 2 universe gets its first major DLC called Wrath of the Ancients on May 12th. It includes 4 new star systems, a new player ship called the Wraith, and a bunch of new enemies and side quests. Does look like a proper expansion. Like I said, May 12th on every platform that's got Everspace 2. And then there's also The Midnight Walk, which is a dark fantasy adventure that combines handcrafted clay visuals with what looks like a fairly haunting attempt at narrative. You take on the role of the Burnt One, and you take on monsters, puzzles, and have to protect a glowing companion named Potboy. This is a VR game, or at least it has support for PS VR and PC VR. It is coming May 8th to PlayStation 5 and PC. It's Metal Eden. Did the Doom Slayer end up watching Blade Runner and do this? That's what it looks like. Nice, fast-paced, first-person shooter coming to us by way of Raycon Games. If you have ever played the twin-stick shooter Ruiner, you'll know who they are. If you haven't, I would recommend it. It's a good one. So you're getting all of the, Doom 2016 type fast-paced killing, but you're getting the grappling like in Doom Eternal. You're getting wall running like in, I guess, Mirror's Edge or Titanfall or something. I don't know. This is a cool-looking game. Got that kind of flow state FPS rhythm chaining thing going. If you're not completely sure about it, this is one that's got a demo. It's got the first 2 missions in it. It's great. It just feels good to play, and I would recommend giving that demo a go. The full game comes out May 6th on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It's Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Hey, you want a bunch of great old fighting games for $40? Because that's what this is. And let me tell you right now, the thing I'm most psyched about, Power Stone and Power Stone 2. Those are here. I mean, you got a lot of other games. You got Capcom vs. SNK. You got its follow-up. You got Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter 3 Alpha, Upper. You got Project Justice. You even have Plasma Sword, Nightmare of Bill Stein. I know that last one sounds like it's like an RPG or something, but trust me, it's not. It's a weapons-based fighter that came out for the Dreamcast. At least that's where I remember it. Remember, I did mention Power Stone immediately. I'm all about the Dreamcast fighters. It's great because all these games are coming with online play with rollback netcode. You're going to have training modes and concept art music galleries. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 comes on May 16th for PlayStations, Xboxes, Nintendo Switches, and PCs. Finally, Nice Day for Fishing, a pixel art adventure RPG that takes the serene pastime and makes it into an epic world-saving quest. It's a side-scroller with magic, with bait, and a lot of upgrading. There is fishing stuff, there is RPG stuff, there's action stuff. What more could you ask for? Nice Day for Fishing landing on PC, PS5, and Nintendo Switch May 29th. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter and put me on Cameo at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on GameRanks.